strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you could possibly imagine.
Another week, another Splinterlands update is here. This is one that Validator node license holders are going to absolutely love, as those are now paying out SPS. They've been paying out vouchers for a little while now. Now they're paying out SPS, so the full rewards are here, and they are absolutely glorious. And they've been pretty good for quite a while, actually. And this is an opportunity that I feel like is really going under the radar in crypto. So we're gonna break it down. We're gonna talk about this. These are generating an insane yield right now, about 130%. And when you look at risk to reward ratio, there's actually not a ton of risk here. Now, obviously, do your own research. Everything in crypto has risk. This is not immune, but it looks to me to be a great opportunity. So much, in fact, that I just went and bought 4 this weekend before they started paying out. I've got 4 more licenses, and I'm going to look to continue to add more. I am not stopping. So let's go talk about this. And this is actually not just a whale project either. We're going to talk about a third-party website that will sell you a fraction of a license, so you can participate in this for as low as about $100. It does not have to be just a whales game. All right, let's go dive into these licenses and take a look. So these are the full prices here. If you look, we are currently in tranche 1 right here. So the pre-sale, they were about $2,000 during the pre-sale. They're actually, because of voucher prices that have gone down a little bit, they're actually a little bit cheaper in tranche 1 than they were in the pre-sale. You might remember my initial video that I made. I said I wasn't going to buy a ton in the pre-sale because it was going to be a while before they started paying out. They're actually paying out a lot earlier than we expected. That's now here. And I didn't think we were going to sell through tranche 1, so I thought I might be able to buy later. And that's going to turn out to be right, as I was able to buy for as cheap as I bought it in the pre-sale. And you guys can get into this now. I don't know how long tranche 1 is going to last, but there is a set amount of rewards. So if we scroll up, you can even see it: 3.75 million SPS per month, 20,000 vouchers per day is spread out amongst everybody who has one of these licenses or is running a node. Eventually there's going to be some community voted nodes as well. Those are not here yet, so those don't factor in at the moment. But the more that are sold, the less everybody will get. So you will see yields go down over time as more people buy these, assuming prices stay the same, which they won't. We'll talk about that. We're gonna get into spreadsheets here in a second. But the more that are sold, the more expensive they get. So it's designed to scale. So people aren't going to, like, at current prices, we're not gonna sell out of these lower or these higher tranches or whatever, because it's not worth it to pay that much for them. But right now, you can get one for about $2,000, and again, the return is about 130%. So let's go over to the spreadsheet that I made to kind of help me calculate things. This was what I did back in the pre-sale. There actually was one error in this in my initial video. I've corrected some of the math here, and what this is going to show is the current cost. So the pre-sale, I just put in a flat 2,000 because that's what it was at the time. It's not here anymore. It wasn't actually a flat 2,000. You use vouchers, but that was the price I basically paid for it. So again, we are right here. This, I said 130%. What I'm actually looking at this APY, this yield, is this is the yield when the full tranche sells out. So when we have, if we come back, there's going to be 2,000, 5,000 licenses out there. And that's kind of the level that I like to look at, because as they sell more, the value of my tranche doesn't necessarily go up any because they're the same price in the store, but the yield goes down. So at the end of it, that's still an insane yield, right? Absolutely insane yield. And then again, this last section is the APY if you bought at the pre-sale price. You'll notice that it actually goes down here because the pre-sale price is a little bit expensive, but this is going to be similar to if you bought right now as well at the 1925. This will be your return as more tranches sell out. So once tranche 1 sells out at 94%, your yield will start to go down, but at that point, the price jumps up $1,000. So yes, your yield will continue to go down below 94%, but your resale value of it just went up. Another $1,000 you just made. Basically there's 50% return right there if you decide to flip it and sell it or something like that. And I think, again, this is a huge APY, and I feel like we're going to sell through those, because the other question is, what is the risk? Okay, you see a lot of crypto investments where, yeah, you can go stake at these insane yields, but it doesn't end up worth it because the price goes down over time and you don't end up getting that over the course of the year. So first off, I believe that we're at a point where SPS and voucher price are going to go up. They haven't had a lot of utility yet. There's been a lot more utility announced, especially with vouchers. Some of like the tower defense games going to use up a ton of vouchers. More voucher utility is coming. So I think as those get here, voucher prices are actually going to go up. But what if we're wrong? What if they go down? What if they go down a lot? What if the price gets cut in half for both of these? So even more, let's just go 40 cents and we'll go 3.5 cents. What's the yield if things get cut in half? It's still, if prices get cut in half from here and all of tranche 1 sells out, it's still a 50% return on your investment. That's still a great deal, right? That's still a great yield. Even if tranche 2 would sell out, let's say maybe tranche 2, maybe prices go up a little bit, so a lot of these sell and then they come back down and we're sold through tranche 2. I mean, a 21% yield is still very, very good, right? And you've got to think, if we get into tranche 2, then they're going to be selling for more in the market, so that increases their resale value. And you can come in here and I'll actually leave the link to this down below, so you can play with it. A lot of the values in the voucher price, really, and I feel like voucher utility is definitely going to be there, but you can cut all these things extremely low and see that, hey, we're still getting at tranche 1, we're still getting a 30% yield. Getting a fairly safe 30% yield is tough to do. And that's why I think we're going to sell through these a lot faster. I think we're going to be into tranche 2 here soon. If you come over, you can see how many are left. So validator nodes, there's 1427. We've been selling, we actually sold almost 100 yesterday. So they are starting to pick up a little bit as I think people start to see some of the value here. But there is certainly a ton of value involved. And then you can play around and think, okay, again, I think voucher price is going to go up. What they have said that there is not going to be enough vouchers to buy everything. All these projects that are coming, that, okay, a lot of these projects you can redeem, like here with these licenses, you can redeem. Oh, we'll get into that website here in just a second. Again, voucher discount rate, once we get into tranche 2, I mean, it's going to be $5. There's literally not going to be enough vouchers that everybody can redeem them for everything that they want. So I think we'll eventually see voucher prices up at $3, up at $5, whatever the game is currently valuing at them, probably a little bit lower than that. So once these vouchers become scarce and start getting used, I think they're going to increase. What happens if vouchers go up to $1.50? Let's go back to our current SPS price of, so what, we are at 7.4 right now. Is that what I started out, 7.3? 122% return after all of tranche 1 sells out. And again, we haven't sold out there, but I think we're going to get it. If vouchers go up to that $5 range down the line, I mean, 108, again, at that point, we're definitely going to be sold in here. But if you look over at the yield, even as we get into tranche 2, tranche 3, your yield's going to be pretty significant there. So you can come in and play with this and see what you think voucher prices are going to do and what the yield is. But even if you have a bearish outlook on vouchers, on vouchers or SPS, these licenses still look nice, and that's why I loaded up and bought some. So, okay, but this is expensive, right? $2,000. What if you don't have $2,000? I mean, a lot of people can't go invest $2,000. Or if you want to go get some Splinterlands cards too, right? It's not just a whales game. I will put this link down below. There is a licensed TYC token. And what they are doing is they're selling 1/20th of a Splinterlands license. 1/20th of a Splinterlands license, so that's about $100 or so, a little less than $100 right now. You can come in here and you can buy this. You can see they've calculated the yearly APR based on the number of of licenses that are currently showing, and on my spreadsheet I was calculating it once the tranche sells out. But there's insane APR there, and all they charge is a 5% management fee, because you do have to run these. These are, you don't have to run them right now, but very soon you're going to have to actually provide that value to the ecosystem by running this node and validating SPS transactions and things like that. Which it'll be something that's very easy to do, guys. Don't get overwhelmed. If you're looking to buy a full node or full license to run a node, it's not something that'll be difficult to do. You can pay a small fee to set up a hosting site online to run it, so you don't have to have your own PC running all the time or anything like that. I will put out guides on how to do that when the time comes. We don't necessarily know all the details yet, but they've said it's going to be very easy to do. So we'll have guides for how to do that when it's relevant. But yeah, you can come in here and get this token. All they charge is 5%, and at the yields that you're getting, I think that's still a very solid deal. And I actually reached out to them, and they are going to be sponsoring one of my live streams as well. They are not sponsoring this video. This is not a sponsored recommendation. But I was like, hey, let's tie this into some live stream giveaways and things like that. So we're gonna give away some vouchers on stream on the 20th. I'll put that link down below. We've actually got a bunch of giveaway streams coming up. 3 this week, some more, at least 2 now next week. So we're gonna have a lot of fun. But we're gonna talk about this project a little more on those live stream and give away some vouchers, which are hot right now. So I think I'm surprised these aren't selling faster, and I think maybe it's because there's so many other things in Splinterlands that people want to get into, but these are just, they're such a good deal to me. Such a good deal. I'm loading up, and I feel like it's lower. Initially, you guys saw, was it last week? I bought a ton of vouchers. Ended up buying about 7,000 vouchers. It's like, vouchers are gonna skyrocket. Their utility has to increase. They were about 45 cents or something at the time, and so as they increased in price, I actually ended up selling some of them off and flipping them into buying licenses instead, because I feel like long term that's where it's at. Instead of having to worry about what the exact price of the vouchers are, or trying to flip those or time anything like that, or how I want to use them, I just thought, get these licenses, generate the SPS, generate the vouchers long term, and then I can decide what to do with them from there. So I'm really, really bullish on this, and I think we're going to see things pick up. We might have a lot of people holding on to SPS for Rift Watchers to see how that goes. Maybe expecting SPS price to increase with Rift Watchers, as we've already seen it's increased about 2 cents. It was up over 8 cents just earlier this morning, actually. So SPS's price has been increasing quite a bit as people are preparing for Rift Watchers, and then I think you're going to see people take the SPS at the higher value and turn them into these licenses. I don't think we're going to be in Tranche 1 very long. I think they are going to sell out fairly fast. We're at about 100 per day. I think that'll pick up. I don't think these will last that long, so I think the price is about to increase significantly, and that's why I wanted to make sure I got my buys in before that happened. So let me know what you guys think. We've got so many things to invest in right now with Splinterlands. What are you choosing? I think this has to be the top of the list for a lot of people, and the top of the list for people who don't necessarily play the game or want to. Maybe they're outside investors and they want to be invested in NFT gaming, but they don't really play the game or want to invest in things where you have to manage rentals or understand what the best cards are to go after this or anything like that. Just buying a license and operating a node is something that's very easy to do, and you don't have to know anything about Splinterlands to do it. So it's a great investment opportunity for even just the general public as well, for players who don't even play the game. So let me know. As always, I love seeing the comments and what you guys think, whether you're trying to buy in or whether you think it's overhyped right now. But I'm a big believer. I'm absolutely a big believer, and I think this is something that is people are going to look back on in a few years and be like, man, I had a chance to buy those and I didn't. That could have been an insane return. So I'm loading up while I can. I'm loading up as much as possible. Thank you guys. I'll see you in those live streams.